Free Methodist Missions Philippines presents Mobilization Monday. Every Monday, join us as we ignite your passion for missions, share inspiring stories, and equip you to make an impact for God's kingdom right where you are. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mobilization Monday, where we share inspiring stories of how God is moving in the lives of His people and in the nations. Once again, I'm Clyde, serving as the National Director for Free Methodist Missions Philippines, and your host for this podcast. And today, we will be celebrating World Teachers Day. We know for sure that teachers are life shapers, nation builders, and for many of us, they're God's instruments to discover our calling. Today, we are honored to have with us Miss Jeanette Francisco, a licensed professional teacher, campus missionary serving in Bunawan before, and now our newest Free Methodist Missions Philippines mission worker serving as a campus missionary or missionary teacher in Cambodia. Hello, Miss Jeanette. Welcome to Mobilization Monday. We're so glad to have you here. So I know that you are settling now there in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and we just want to have this wonderful time with you, even as we'll be asking you with some questions to start with our conversation. So, well, this is in relation to our World Teachers Month or Day. Maybe please inform all of us, how did you end up becoming a teacher? And was this always your dream, or did God lead you along the way?
Chumrepsu Free Methodist Church family in the Philippines and beyond. First of all, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to be here again at our Mobilization Monday episode that is dedicated to all our teachers around the world. Wow, that's a wonderful starting question right there. But before I share my journey of becoming a teacher, let me first greet all teachers around the world. We call them here Nekru and Lukru. Happy World Teachers Day to all our dedicated teachers in the Philippines and beyond. So going back to your first question, Kuya Clyde, I remember that teaching was not really my childhood dream, but I was inspired by my teachers from elementary to high school to become one. When I was in second grade at Light and Life Learning Center in Bunawan, Agusan del Sur, I was really struggling with my classes and had a hard time catching up with the lessons since my classmates were all fast learners. So what my teacher has done during that time really inspired me. She usually asked me to clean the room after the class and personally tutored me after class, especially for the subjects I have difficulty with. I still can remember her because she's been a huge part of my early childhood days. And later on, when I became a high school student, my interest has changed. In fact, after finishing my secondary, I just took one college entrance examination, and that is the MSU SASE, or the entrance examination for the Mindanao State University, because I really wanted to pursue a degree in BS Chemistry or Chemical Engineering. However, God really has another plan for me. So I passed the MSU SASE and was still waiting for the result of the scholarship in the province that time. But my parents have already decided that I cannot pursue, of course, my dream course because it's too far and because of financial constraints. So teaching back then was not something I have considered since I know that teachers have a lot of responsibilities. Because of that, I had no other choice but to enroll in the nearest college, which is the Agusan del Sur State College of Agriculture and Technology, or ASCA. So fortunately, however, some of my high school friends were also enrolling there, so we chose just one course so we could study and of course we can graduate together. And since English majorship was not available at that time, we pursued a general education degree or the Bachelor of Elementary Education. I can still recall how unmotivated I am during my first semester since it was not my dream course. I was like studying for compliance only, because I have already started the course. And aside from that, the coursework for education program is really overwhelming. You had to write a lot of lesson plans and do a lot of teaching demonstrations in your 4-year program. It was, I think, in my second year when my perspective has changed and started to like teaching, when I became active in teaching young children in our Sunday school and outreaches, and became a developmental teacher in one of the projects in partnership with Compassion International, or that's the PH006, the Saadco Child Development Center. So I spent my Saturdays and Sundays teaching children, and I find joy and fulfillment in doing so. So after I graduated in college, I have to stop teaching in the center because I need to focus on my review for the board examination. It was quite a heartbreaking decision for me, but I have to, of course, for my future. When I passed the board exam, I was given a rare opportunity to teach at my alma mater. I really enjoyed my teaching journey, and it gave me a different sense of fulfillment to see my students learning from me and enjoying our class. In fact, there were times when I really spent time with them intentionally outside our class to get to know them more and to connect with them on a personal level.
Thank you for sharing, Mom Jeanette, for that inspiring story. I know that beyond being a classroom teacher, you also serve as a campus missionary. I think we heard much about you, that you also serve as a campus missionary, maybe with some different organizations available in your campus. Of course, primarily impacting students not just academically, but also spiritually. Maybe you could also tell us more about your experience of sharing the gospel with students while teaching.
Yeah, so I remembered also that while I was teaching, I was had that vision, of course, in ASCAT, to have or to start a campus ministry. And I think that God gave me that vision during one worship or Sunday service in our church. So God opened up my eyes, since there were a lot of ASCAT students who are attending during that time in our local church. It was like God is inviting me to do something for these students. And so it was pre-pandemic time, year 2019, when we started the Campus Light Friendship Club at ASCAT. But actually, we were meeting already at our local church. So we had our sessions at our local church, and then we continued there at ASCAT. When finally we were given permission to have our gathering at the school. So we meet regularly once a week with the students, worshiping God, listening to His words, and of course we have a lot of leaders also that is coming from other conferences that are helping us in our campus ministry. So aside from that, I was also involved in a ministry among college students, which is the boarding house ministry. So we have church members who are tenants or who are landlords or landladies in different boarding houses in Bunawan. So there were, I think, 6 to 8 boarding houses. So this actually started when I was still in my final year in high school. So we usually visit twice a month to have fellowship to them, to study God's word, and just enjoy His presence. And every end of the month, we have our concluding activity, which is the Youth Reload, where high school and college students from our campus ministries and boarding house ministries gather together for a wonderful time of worship and fellowship with each other. So I think that it's really what I realize is that our career or our ministry doesn't end when our career starts. Especially that I realized all these years that through these ministries, I understood my students all the more. So spending time with them in the boarding house and of course in our campus ministry So I get to know their struggles, their challenges, their victories as a student. So there are really different what they call this different stories that I've heard from my students through these ministries. And for the past years, my life as a teacher was just like that. So after my duty, so I rush to or at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. No, we usually have our boarding house ministry or sessions for the Campus Light Friendship Club. So yeah, so in fact, that's I think is what should every teacher capture in their hearts, that really there is a purpose to why God make us teachers. And if you're a teacher, then you can use that platform to influence and lead more people to Christ. And aside from that, let me tell you, some of my students were really close to me personally, and at times they reach out to me even beyond class hours, of course, to help to pray for them, and of course, what else? Of course, to have some counseling sessions. Yeah, because they are from different backgrounds, they are from different places, and so they have stories behind them. Our students have beyond the blackboard, they have stories to tell. There are reasons why these students are behaving like that and this, and that's why I realized that it's really important as a teacher to connect to them, not just physically, but of course emotionally and spiritually.
Awesome. Wow. I think the Lord has really prepared you to, every single piece of your obedience and even experience, the Lord has really indeed prepared you for something is greater. Yeah. I remember attending your commissioning service. That was very emotional. I have seen some of our young people there, cried and was very moved seeing you being commissioned by your conference. Now you recently transitioned into global missions and are now serving as a missionary teacher in Cambodia, of course, with the partnership of the Philippine General Conference of the Free Methodist Church through Free Methodist Missions Philippines, and of course with the Free Methodist Church Hong Kong missions team. I know that's a huge step of faith. Maybe Jeanette, could you share what led you to make that decision? I know it's very revolutionary to you. Of course, it would take a 180-degree change of focus. What was going on in your heart as you obeyed God's call?
Wow, I can't even explain into words how I come to make that bold decision. And actually, it started when we had our mission trip or a short mission trip last June at Cambodia. So that was one of the an eye opener and a heart, of course, a heartbreaker, a heartbreaker experience for me. So we were given an opportunity to witness God's humble works in Cambodia during that time, and of course to share in the painful past or history of that country. So I, together with Christy, volunteered teaching English at Kermel International School, which is a tripartite school co-owned by Free Methodist Church, Hong Kong, and other evangelical churches. So we were able to see and be involved in their dorm ministry aside from teaching English at KAS. And I remembered we had this conversation at the car with Christy that God really has a greater purpose to why we became teachers. And I felt a deep sense of calling to be involved in the ministries there because teaching and, of course, discipling students is in my heart for a long time. It's like a lifestyle for me. And these opportunities should be given urgency, especially that Cambodia is among the least rich nation in Asia. And after that mission trip, I actually made up my mind that if it's really God who called me to this, He will open the right door for me. And so, who would have thought? an opportunity to become an English teacher opened just right in time. This wasn't an easy decision for me because I have to consult a lot of my pastors, mentors, and of course my family, because this is a very way beyond my comfort zone decision for me. But after making, of course, that brave decision, I just saw how God placed everything and how He ordered everything. God provided a door as well as all the resources to respond to His calling. And so beyond my comfort, this is really a big step of obedience for me. Even though I am exposed to these ministries already, but this is beyond my comfort zone, since I will be learning a lot, adjusting a lot, and of course I have to adapt with the culture, the language, as well as the new working environment at Cambodia. So I praise God that He has given me this opportunity to serve Him once again at Cambodia.
Wow, what a testimony of faith and obedience. Actually, personally to me, we are so excited for you to obey the Lord in the few days that are coming, few weeks, few years, I don't know when, but yeah, we're just so excited. Now, as we celebrate World Teachers Day, I want you to give you this moment to speak directly to teachers and even students who may be listening. Many may feel the call to serve in the education sector, and some may even be steered to serve in missions. What encouragement would you like to give them?
Yeah, thank you so much. So before I say my encouragement, of course, I would like to share what I have watched last night. So last night I watched a video from Joy Spring. She said that there is no such thing as a holy career, because whatever career God gives you, that is, of course, you have the opportunity for a holy pursuit. And that's what I think should every teacher and, of course, aspiring teachers have in their minds, that we should treat our career or profession as our calling. So wherever God has placed you, He has a deeper purpose, and that is to become a blessing to others, to become a salt and light in your workplace and, of course, to your students, and to bring others to Christ through your life's testimony as a teacher. So as you progress in your career, may God's work also progress. God bless you all and our dear teachers around the world.
Thank you so much, Miss Jeanette, for sharing your story with us today. From being a teacher in the classroom to discipling students on campus, and now teaching cross-culturally in Cambodia. You are a beautiful example of how God can use the teaching profession as a platform for mission. To all teachers out there, we celebrate you this World Teachers Day. May you continue to inspire not just with your lessons, but with your lives. And who knows, maybe God is calling you too to serve in God Global Missions just like Miss Jeanette. Until next time, please don't forget to follow us in our Facebook page and subscribe in our YouTube channel. Until next week, God bless you.